Hi there, welcome to the Phoenix Rise podcast. Claire here, your host, and so happy to have you with us. Welcome to the tribe. If you're new here, you are in for a treat. This is the place where we talk all things spirituality, mindset, and business. Yes, and business. I know. Who knew you got to have it all? Who knew you didn't have to make sacrifices? Who knew you got to have the best of both worlds? 3D and 5D. 5D. Ambition and awakening, spirituality and success. These are the vibes over here. So if that floats your boat, stick around. So today, do you know, at the moment, in my head, I still haven't completely decided what today's podcast is going to be about. So I've got two things that I want to talk about, and I'm going to see where my intuition takes me. So the things that I'm thinking about talking about are building your authority as a thought leader in the industry. So rather than just being seen as another coach or just being seen as another entrepreneur, how do you build that presence and that brand awareness to being the visionary thought leader that you're here to be? Another thing that I want to talk about is how to make big impact and big income outside of social media. You know, when the algorithm's fucking you over, when your reels are getting like 5 views and you're just like, how do I do this? So where are we gonna go? If you're live on Instagram at the moment, let me know which of these is floating your boat, and that's where I'm going to take us. So whilst I decide where we're going to go, I want to talk to you a bit about being a thought leader and what that actually means, because it's a term that's thrown around a lot, but not many people really understand the gravitas behind it. And being a thought leader, being a visionary, means that you are not afraid to speak your truth. You're not afraid to go against the grain. You're not afraid to throw out the rule book and do things your own way, to say, actually, this is what I stand for. This is what I'm here to create. This is what I'm here to make in the world. This is the way that I see the future of this industry, the future of the people coming into this world, into my orbit. This is the path that I am laying out for them. That's the difference between just being a normal entrepreneur and being that presence, being that authority, being the thought leader, the visionary. And so stepping into that means feeling hella comfortable with judgment, with naysayers, with, rejection, with comments, with trolling, with all that kind of stuff, because it's part and parcel, because you are limited by the amount of rejection that you can take. Because if you post something on socials and it gets a hater, right? You know, those people who've got nothing better to do with their lives, and it knocks you down, and it takes you a while to get back up, and it affects you, and it stops you from posting that kind of content again. It stops you from speaking your truth again. It stops you from really showing up 100% authentically, unapologetically as who you are, as what you're here to stand for. If that one person that left that comment stops you, then how are you ever going to create something bigger? How are you going to be able to hold the space energetically to touch hundreds of thousands or millions of lives if one person saying something nasty, something mean, something low vibe knocks you down? Because what happens in those moments is we're putting that message out to the universe saying, look, I can't even deal with this. There's no way that I can deal with that 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times that. Because the more that you're seen, the more that you're gonna get those comments, because you're not going to be for everyone. And no one ever created something significant in the world without ruffling some feathers, right? Without kind of rubbing people up the wrong way because you're not everyone's cup of tea. And that's okay. But you have to be energetically aligned and in touch with your own sense of worth and sense of self and sense of inner power that other people's limiting beliefs, let's face it, that's what they are. That's why they're doing this kind of stuff, because they obviously believe that they are not worthy of it themselves and they're projecting that onto other people. So if you can't hold the capacity to just let that be like water off a duck's back and to not give it your energy, to not give your power away to it, then there's no way that you're going to be able to make the big impact that you're here to make. Because you have to learn to remove yourself energetically from those kind of comments. And so I think we're actually kind of bridging both of these topics in this podcast, because building your authority as that thought leader, part and parcel of that is in social media, right? And there are certain platforms, in my experience, TikTok and Instagram, TikTok probably more so than Instagram, where you get the trolling. You get the people who have nothing better to do with their lives than literally go on other people's videos and leave something nasty to say. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What kind of energetic vibration must they be in to think that that is a good use of their time? So what we need to be able to do is, one, switch the perception of it and understand that actually hurt people hurt people. Someone doing that is obviously not in a good place themselves. But two, we need to not give our energy to it. We need to not be in the comments 24/7 like, oh, who's left me this? Who's left me that? Your nervous system getting dysregulated before you even read anything, that sense of anxiety of like, what has someone said now? And I used to do this, right? I used to get so what's the word? Like my body would be tense. I would feel anxious. I would feel like the kid at school walking into the gates, not knowing if it was going to be a good day or a bad day. Are the bullies going to be here today? What have I done now? And it's things like, when people comment on your physicality or the way that you look, for me, it's always my teeth, right? I always get comments on my teeth. And the fact of the matter is that you are beautiful exactly as you are, exactly as the divine source made you. And someone else's self-loathing does not change that about you. Okay? And this took me a long time to accept and to be able to build the tools to deal with, because I knew that my why, right, my purpose was bigger than these people. And so I had to step out of that person that was so affected by those kind of comments. I had to leave her behind, and I had to grow and evolve into the new identity of the woman, of the thought leader, of the visionary who knew that these kind of things, they don't even reach my energetic frequency. They're not able to affect me because they hold no power over me anymore. Because I knew that my why, my purpose, my dharma, my calling, my quest was so much bigger than that. And if I didn't become the person that was able to energetically deal with that, then I could never create the kind of impact or income that I wanted to make, that I desired to make, that I was here to make, right? And so part of building your authority as that thought leader, as that visionary, is not getting caught up in the he said, she said, they said. Not getting caught up in the trolling, not getting caught up in the naysayers, not getting caught up in all the pettiness that happens at the bottom, right? Competition happens at the bottom. Collaboration happens at the top. At the top, people support each other. At the top, people work together. At the top, people share, they grow, they raise each other up. You don't find people at the top bringing each other down. You don't find people at the top trying to undermine others. You don't find people at the top spending hours on social media trying to make someone else feel bad. It just doesn't happen. And so if you want to be at the top, if you want to be that visionary thought leader that is here to create that ripple effect, that movement in the world, then you need to be energetically at the top. You need to be energetically aligned with where those people are. Take yourself out of the paradigm of the bottom and bring yourself into the paradigm of the top. That's the difference between the struggling entrepreneur and the visionary thought leader. And so I think we're going to move this into social media. And how do you still build this authority, this presence as a thought leader if the algorithm is not on side, right? And I speak this from personal experience because I've created 3 businesses, 2 multiple 6-figure businesses. I'm an international speaker. I'm birthing a 4th business at the moment. I've done big things. I failed more than most people try. And that's the reason why I'm successful, because I'm not scared to fail. I'm not scared to fall flat on my face. I get up and I go again, because I know that with every failure is movement. With every failure is a lesson. With every failure is a pivot to the path that you're meant to be on. But those that are never willing to fail are also never willing to succeed, because we only succeed by the amount of failures that we're willing to endure. So when I pivoted, my Instagram handle, right, earlier this year, when I swapped my Instagram handle from the crystals, my crystal business, to me, to Phoenix, to my self-development brand, my empowerment brand. And in hindsight, I would have just started again. I would have just started again. I did not know it was going to be that bad. But the algorithm completely fucked me over. It did not like the pivot. It didn't understand what I was doing. It was showing me to obviously people that were no longer aligned with my new messaging. My old people that were there for the crystals obviously were like, what's going on? So they left, and it caused me a whole lot of mental health issues, if I'm being completely honest. You know, it made me self-doubt myself. It made me question if I was good enough. It made me question, why didn't people like me? What was I doing wrong? It sent me to quite a dark place. But what I realized very quickly is that I'd already built 2 6-figure businesses. I'd already become a market leader in industries that I knew nothing about to start with. I had already proved myself to be a go-getter, to be a trailblazer, to be someone who's not afraid of trying, of putting myself out there. And so I changed my perception. I realized that the algorithm was out of my control. I couldn't do anything about that, right? If it was giving me 5 views on a reel, I was lucky, right? My followers went from 10K to 7K, where I've been at for a while now. So I think that's kind of like my new norm. But to be honest, your numbers don't matter, because you could sell £100,000 to 100 followers, or you could sell £100,000 to 1 million followers. Which would you prefer? You know, you want an audience that is engaged, that gets you, that are your tribe, because that's where the magnetism comes from. You don't want an audience of thousands of people who don't even see you or don't even like you. You know, what's the point in that? There is none. So what I did is I realized that actually, yes, Instagram is an amazing tool, but it's not the be all and the end all. And there are lots of other avenues out there. My first business, my corporate business, has never even had social media. So I knew that I could create a brand, that I could create multiple six figures without the help of social media. And I also knew that I'd become a market leader in that industry, that I had become the thought leader for that industry, again, without social media. So what I had to do was trace my steps back, because you can't join the dots going forwards. You can only join them going back. And I realized all of these other avenues that I had used personally to grow my other brands. And I had just kind of forgotten about them. I got so sucked into the social media kind of frenzy that I really forgot that there was other ways, that I've done this before without social media. I can do it again. And so I started refocusing my energy on those areas. I started becoming this inspirational speaker, right? I started putting myself out there as the brand of the empowerment, the brand to stop playing small, start stepping out for light, start being who you're really here to be, start being the visionary. This is my brand, right? This is everything that I stand for across all of my businesses. So whether that's through spiritual healing and manifestation with crystals, whether that's through getting back your time and your freedom through outsourcing with my corporate biz, whether that's through coaching and speaking events through Phoenix, whether that's through other businesses that I'm growing now, they all encompass my ethos of empowerment for you to play as big, as bold, as bright as you are here to do. That's what I stand for. And so I started utilizing these other platforms that helped me put myself out there as the thought leader for that. And as soon as I flipped that perception, as soon as I flipped that narrative and I started channeling my energy there, I got opportunities to speak on summits, at events. I was asked to do workshops to help people step out of their comfort zones, to help people with the art of speaking and of storytelling and of sharing their message. I was given business opportunities, collaboration opportunities were coming my way because I was now seen as the thought leader, as the market leader, as someone in authority in this industry, in this sector, because I stand up for what I believe in. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't simmer down my personality. I don't watch what I say on different platforms. I am me, unapologetically, authentically, 100%. What you see is what you get. This is me. And if you don't like it, you're not my people. But being an industry thought leader, being an industry visionary is about saying, I'm not here to please everyone. I'm here to forge a new path. I'm here to light the way for others. And I'm going to do that with or without you, because I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. And when you can start doing that in whatever platform, whatever avenue feels good to you, you will start to attract those high level clients, those high level opportunities. Your ecology around you will start to change. If I look at the people in my world now, it's hard to fathom that I have the connections, the friendships, the relationships with the kind of people that I do, when 2 years ago, I was a no one. I was a struggling entrepreneur trying to make her way. Maybe 3 years ago. This year's like been a blur. It's nearly the end of the year, isn't it? But you have to start being that first. You have to start building that identity first. Because when you start being, you start receiving. When you start being, it starts coming. You start becoming in order for it to come to you. This is all part of the identity work, right? The mindset work of embodying the visionary, embodying the thought leader, embodying the authority that you are here to be, that you are here to have, that you're here to share with the world. And so when you embrace that and you integrate that and you feel it with your every being and you are that inside and out, undeniably, it is impossible for your 3D world not to change. It is just the law of physics. Your 3D world will start to change. It will start to match the vibration that you have internally. It will start to align with your frequency. You will start to attract different people into your life, different opportunities, different clients, different energetical wealth frequency. All of this will be magnetized to you as you start to become that authority, as you start to embrace that identity of the thought leader. And so where I'm at now is I don't really care about Instagram. I post on it, but I really use it as my playing field. If I'm feeling lit up by something, I'll post it and then I release it. I release the outcome. I don't care how many views it gets, how many likes it gets, how many comments it gets. If it brings someone into my orbit who is magnetized to me and who knows that they want to be in my world, then that's amazing. And I love that. But if it doesn't, I'm not affected because I know who I am. I know that I am a thought leader. I know that I am a visionary. I know that I am an authority in this world because I have created that for myself. I have put myself out there as that. I have forged the path for that. I have been willing to stand on top of the mountain and to say, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is everything that I believe. If you like it, then follow me. And if you don't, that's fine. Follow someone else. But this is what being a thought leader is all about. How willing are you to stand up for what you believe in, to stand up for your message, to stand up for your values, for your way of thinking, for your vision, for your path, for your bigger why? How willing are you to get uncomfortable with that? To put yourself out there for all to see, nowhere to hide, nowhere to not be seen, to speak on it, regardless of the outcome, regardless of what people may say about it. How willing are you to do that? Because how willing you are is how successful you will be. If you are willing to speak on stages, to speak to communities, to share your message on any opportunity that you have, and not worry about the results, not worry about what people may or may not say. Release the outcome, not be driven by the sales, but be driven by the impact, by the message, by the movement, because that will magnetize the sales. But if you are willing to do that and to not shut up about it to anywhere, anyone that you meet, this is how you will be rewarded with your success. Because the more opportunities that you say yes to, the more opportunities that you have to make a difference, to make an impact, to get your name out there. And your name will start to travel in those circles. It doesn't need social media for it, because successful people talk to successful people, and your name will start to make way in those circuits. And that's when you know that you're creating an impact. That's when you know that you're living that legacy. That's when you know that you've moved from ordinary to extraordinary. And it's all possible for you. If you desire it, it's possible for you, because everything that you desire is yours for a reason, because you're meant to have it. So if your desire is to be that thought leader, is to be that visionary, is to be that legacy, then it is meant for you. Now you just have to overcome the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of criticism, whatever it is holding you back. Overcome that fear, transmute it as your fuel, to project yourself into the future that you are meant for. Okay, so that's what I've got for you today. We've kind of gone around a few different circles there, but ultimately, this message is about how you position yourself as an authority, as a thought leader, as a visionary, without relying solely on social media, on Instagram. I have a few things for you. So at the moment, I've just released it's not free, a low ticket masterclass for overcoming fear, for transmuting your fear into your fuel. So whatever your fear is that's holding you back, this masterclass is going to be amazing for you. You're going to learn about it. You're going to be able to transmute it. And there's actionable tools that you can start implementing into your life right now to start transmuting it. So I'll put that link in the show notes. And then secondly, the Visionary Academy is about to be launched. This is my new signature program. This is the whole kit and caboodle, right? This is going from yearning to becoming. This is going from wanting to be a thought leader to being the thought leader. This is the whole mindset, the whole energetics, the whole roadmap from going from where you are now to who you want to be. This is everything that I've learned in the last 10 years of being an entrepreneur to get me to where I am now. Multiple business owner, 2 six-figure businesses, thought leader, international speaker, birthing a 4th business, all that stuff. Mum, single mum of 2, right? If I can do it, you can do it. So the Visionary Academy is going to be released, depending on when you're hearing this, very soon. It will be towards the end of November 23. So I don't know when you're listening to this. And in the lead up to that, I have a free masterclass to unlock your 6-figure frequency. So if you're wanting and you're yearning to hit those 6 figures, you think that that's where your success is going to be, I can tell you it's not, but I can also tell you how to get there. So I'll put the link in the show notes to that to start unlocking your 6-figure frequency. This is called Mindset Mastery. And again, it's all about becoming the person who can start to attract that kind of wealth into your world. So a few different options for you, dependent on where you are on your journey. I'll put all the links in the show notes. And until next time, remember, if you desire it, it's because you're meant for it. Now go and be it. I'll see you soon.